nobody goes out there and says we're gray market. They just so what you want to do is you want to well almost nobody. I mean there are some dealers that will put on their site that it's export packaging, which means that the
Mm.
packaging says not for sale in the U.S. But
That
they're
sounds way
typically
better
doing
than gray
that.
market.
Well, they'll typically do that because otherwise they get a lot of returns. People buy it and then they're like, "Why does it say not for sale in the U.S.? Should I be concerned?" It's just a question of being. We don't have this big war on gray market. I think some dealers will use
So
it
you
as a
don't do
way
it
of
though.
getting. No, we don't. We don't do it, but we don't actively go out and try to get customers by scaring them and telling them if they buy gray market, then they're going to get sued the next day by their patients.
If you're comfortable, you're not growing. Welcome to another episode of Dental Marketing Theory. I'm your host, Gary Bird. I am the CEO of SMC National, where we provide predictable new patient flow for dental offices just like yours. And today I got two special guests, Jay and Howie from Crazy Dental. And I'm going to share how I met you, Jay. So we were at a conference. I forget which conference it was. And Jay came up and introduced himself, and he is full of energy. If you've ever met Jay before, he's just flying 100 miles an hour, and I gravitate to those kind of people. I think being around that kind of stuff is awesome. And he was telling me about his business, and I said, man, I got to get you on a podcast and learn more about your business. So, Jay, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us just a little bit about Crazy Dental, and then we'll jump into the questions.
Great, thank you. So if I could just give also where credit's due, I believe our mutual friend, I've seen you in a lot of places, but we see each other, hey, what's up, how are you? But Mark Faber mentioned he thought it would be a great
Yes.
idea. So where was I remember where we met. We met in it was in the dining room. You were sitting around the table.
DEO. It was the DEO conference
Is the
in
deal? Yeah, it
Phoenix.
was somewhere
Yeah.
hot and humid. That I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Phoenix.
it was
Yes.
like yeah, I remember it was nice and warm outside. So yeah, thank you very much. So we are a free buying club. So we're under the umbrella of DC Dental. DC Dental is a authorized distributor national throughout the United States. And Crazy Dental, and how we could, I guess we'll get to the questions and we can delve a little deeper into it. But
Yeah.
in essence, what we are is we were Hotwire before Hotwire showed up to life. We were the first marketplace before marketplaces actually came about. We go ahead, we take all of our competitors' pricing, we line them up on our website, everything's transparent, and we just charge the least expensive price. So it's very simple. We don't change prices on people. We don't fool around. We don't play games. You focus on your dentistry, and we'll focus on the least expensive price on the product. And boom, that's it. Simple as that. Ship same day. Where we like to call it an Amazonian warehouse, where we have multiple machines that work rapid fire, and then we have a lot of people. So together, we actually brought in someone from Amazon to run our warehouses. But
Oh wow.
we pick, pack, ship. Yeah, yeah, and we have 46,000 products we sell.
So when I go to your site, I'm actually on your site. I'm actually on your site right now. So when I go here, I can actually sort by whatever I want. And then how? And you said I can see prices of other competitors.
Yeah. So are you familiar with the concept of a multi-vendor marketplace?
No,
Similar
I mean,
to Amazon, eBay would be examples where you have a product that's for sale, it's manufactured by whomever, and then you have multiple vendors that can compete for the business. They're competing primarily in price, sometimes in shipping speeds, etc. So Crazy Dental is kind of the concept. Crazy Dental is really just part of DC Dental. It's a buying club that is part of DC Dental. DC Dental, as you can see in the logo right behind Jay, members only club of DC Dental. DC Dental has been around since 2002. We're a full service distributor based on the Mid Atlantic region. So we carry 35,000 plus products on our site, and we have the traditional sales reps in our company, et cetera. So Crazy Dental is just a concept where what we're doing is we're mimicking the multi-vendor environment where we're showing what all the other vendors in our industry are charging, with Dental
mm,
City and Safco, et cetera. Especially those that have an e-commerce presence and that actually tell you what their price is,
got
which
it.
is something we'll get to in a second. But and then what we're doing is we automatically just set our price to the lowest. It's
Got it.
fully
And so
transparent. We can't
that's really
be
cool.
higher
So
than the lowest price we have.
why wouldn't everybody use this then? Like, what's the hang up, or what's the part where
That's the
people are
question I've been
confused?
asking myself. There really is no reason to. There really, if I mean, well, obviously, people have relationships with, a sales rep they like coming into their office, helping them, whatever, and So, this is a sales rep list environment. That's
Mm.
one of the reasons we're able to keep our prices lower. We do have sales reps at DC Dental as well, and those that are, larger practices, it might make sense. But why wouldn't they? I mean, honestly, we probably just need to do a better job of getting the word out. Um, there are instances. So I'll tell you, there are instances, and this is what I was alluding to before. If you're ordering from, and I don't want to name our competitors, but many of our competitors, go to their website and you'll see there's no prices listed. They actually stopped even printing a catalog. Or if they did print a catalog, the prices that they would put in the catalog were outrageously high. And then you get a sales rep, and then you'd have to sit there and negotiate with the sales rep, or if you thought about it, if you didn't, they would just hose you at the high rate. If you did speak to them, they'd give you some lower rate. And then every few months you check back and see, oh, they raised the price on this, they raised the price on that.
Oh,
And
so they raise it because you have it on recurring order, right, for your office. So
yeah,
then the price
exactly.
creeps up.
You figured out what you needed, then you give it over to your assistant or office manager, and they're just ordering, what they ordered for last time. Why wouldn't they? Why shouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's how
Yeah.
it should work. Similar to grocery shopping. But the difference is that in the online world, you can really see what everyone else is doing, or you'd hope to. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to make the process transparent and out of our hands. We can't secretly raise our prices
Yeah.
when you're not looking, because our prices are not. We're not setting our price. All we're
Yeah.
doing is reporting back what the lowest price is, and the price sets itself. So it's a new concept. It's been doing very well. The customers that do use us, I will tell you, said, why wouldn't people use us? If you do go on, any Google reviews, or you go on to Facebook groups and you try to find where customers, or if you ask us for customer referrals, our customers absolutely love us because
Okay, cool.
it's simple, straightforward. They don't need to worry about it, but it's a highly competitive environment that we're in.
So who are like the big players in this market? I know you don't want to name every single person, so I'll just name a couple, like Patterson, Safeco Dental, Henry Schein, TD, SC. Are those like the biggest vendors?
You got some big names in there. Henry Schein, Patterson, and Banco really are the three behemoths in the industry.
Okay.
And then,
so what
everybody
do they do?
else is kind of.
So are they good because they're big? Are they like the Costco's?
One of the things that
world,
they have going for them is they've been around forever. All three of those companies, I believe, are 100 years old. Some of them might be slightly less than 100 years old. If you think about in the general retail space, you're going to have you're going to have businesses that have just been around forever.
Sears,
even
as an
Walmart's been
example.
around forever, and
Yeah.
so they're there. But then Amazon came in the late 90s. We started in 2002, so although Amazon now is becoming one of the biggest, but the point is that they've been around for a long time. Some of them do have infrastructure that allows them to be next day everywhere in the country, and we're not next day. I'll be honest with our shortcomings. We ship out product, as Jay mentioned. We have a very high-tech warehouse. So if you order from us before 4 p.m. Eastern, you're going to get a tracking number at 8 p.m. and it'll show the product transferring. But
That's
right
really
now, we only have one facility. We're opening up our second facility hopefully in 2023, and then we're looking at eventually being 2 days across the country. But even then, it's 2 days to be next day. That's where the 100 years comes in. Also, at that point, you're looking at a higher price point potentially. So you have that, and the other thing is we're only supplies. Some of those other competitors you mentioned have service and equipment and software and other things bundled together that kind of encourages a lot of people to also order some or all of their supplies from them. So our claim isn't that we are better than our competitors across all dimensions. Our claim is that if you are looking for a place to purchase dental supplies, which is a 5% budget line item on most dental offices. If you're advising offices on revenue, I think that's the most important thing. But if you're looking at expenses, this is a big expense line. After payroll is one of the largest expense lines that a dentist has is their supplies. It's 5 to 7%, 4 to 7%. And if you're paying 7% versus, let's say, 4%, and you're $1 million gross revenue, that means that you're wasting $30,000 a year. And $30,000 a year gets you a very nice vehicle, a very good lease. That's a $2,500 monthly.
Pre-pandemic, yeah, nice vehicle. Post-pandemic,
right. Now you could be driving
you get a used 1994
Corolla.
Honda.
Yeah. Well, no, $30,000 is the cost
It's
of
a
the
lot
car,
of money.
but this is a year. So, I don't know, 4%. You still probably have to shop around, but if you're grossing $1 million and you shop at Crazy Dental, you should land at 4.5% to 5%. If you are buying from some of the other competitors we mentioned, you most likely will land at 6 to 7, maybe even 8%.
That's a really good way to look at it. If you're going to use these other guys, you're going to be your percent of revenue is going to be higher.
Yeah, so you're going to be saving $10,000 to $20,000 a year probably shopping with us, and then you might be able to save another $5,000 to $10,000 a year if you shopped around at 6 or 7 different places. But then you need to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because then things get delayed and you don't have as much clout in any one place. And some of the smaller vendors where you're going to get a lower price might not ship at the same time. Think about if you do order, you're like, okay, well I need this product for this one procedure, and you order it, and then it doesn't show up on time. You cancel the procedure. How much money did you save? How much did you lose? And if that happens multiple times over the course of a year, there goes all your savings. If you have somebody in your office who's spending all their time trying to track where things are and when you run out of things, there's a peace of mind component. So our claim is that if you want to do all a one-stop shop without having to shop around, without having to look around, there's no place better than us.
And we have a stellar customer service group also. Sorry, just that so people are worried, I'm just going to order, and then what happens? I go to a black hole. They're on top of everything. We have they're out of Minnesota, and everybody in Minnesota is nice. Shout out to all the Minnesotans listening. But
there's no auto attendant. So if you call the Crazy Dental hotline number, someone will pick up on the first or second ring, maybe. Probably the first ring, and anybody watching this podcast is encouraged to try that now.
We'll give them
even our chat.
Place your first order.
Even chat.
Try to place your first order over the phone.
Call right
up
now. Let's see.
And say, these are the items I order, and give them the competitor that you order from. Read off your item codes, and 3:20 p.m. and say, I need it by tomorrow. And let's see, and let's try it out and provide some feedback as to how your experience was. It's 3:20 p.m. How many places could you call, get the lowest price in the country, have somebody you're speaking to on the first ring, or go to our website and do it?
We'll call.
If you go to our website, it's at 3 o'clock is past the deadline, so you might not. You have to call.
Oh, it's
there
past
you go.
3.
No, you're good. Someone will pick up.
3
rings?
3 rings. Someone's getting fired.
No.
First ring's pretty aggressive. First ring doesn't even connect usually. So I
which number did you call?
Did you call the right number?
800-260-6451.
That's the one.
Is that the right number?
Yeah. I'm looking bad.
Thank you for calling Crazy Dental Prices. Normal business hours are Monday to
I got them after hours?
8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Fridays 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Please leave your name and number, and somebody will get back.
Hold on one second.
Give him a call. Okay, so this is what we'll do. I want to talk about hold on one second. I want to talk about other offices, or like what the office's biggest pain points are with this kind of stuff. So if I'm working in an office, I got 5 to 6 offices. What are the biggest pain points that you guys are seeing that they're dealing with when they're just working with any supplier? What are the things that people are the biggest struggle? I know line item, like the line item cost, that's a big one. What are the other nuances that maybe I wouldn't understand not ever working in a dental office?
There's always a confusion as to which product they actually want. There's as I said, 35,000 SKUs in our database, and there's actually even more products out there that are even more rare and exotic. And sometimes the descriptions are confusing. When you're talking about instruments and burrs and diamonds and all these things, and it's incredibly confusing. Oftentimes we find you're ordering the wrong thing, and then it comes, and then you have to return it and deal with call tags and everything else. So that's a pain point that most offices experience. If you're dealing with our customer service, what we'll typically do is we'll ask you to upload your invoices. We have a link on our site, but we also can send you a link if you email us or contact us, and then we'll take your order history from wherever, and we'll create a one-page wish list on our site that converts all of the item codes of whatever it is that you're ordering to the item codes that we're ordering. It's similar to, if you know, I like to liken it to grocery shopping. If you've been shopping at the same store for years to buy your groceries, and then you go to Trader Joe's, you're completely confused. You're like, is this?
Oh, because it's different.
Is this
Okay,
what
that was a
yeah. So
that's
you
a
say,
really good
so then you walk
illustration.
in and
So
say,
I go to
okay, yeah, you do go to Trader. If you go to Trader Joe's, you know exactly what I'm talking about, because like,
yeah.
like, well, cream cheese is this what I? And then they'll be like, well, this is, you know, whipped versus not whipped, full fat versus half fat, and that's with consumer products. You know, if you're like a dental assistant and you're not necessarily all up to speed in the different types of cements and things like that, and if you want to also go with the house brand, that's where it really gets complicated. And you know, your headrest covers. Is this the same headrest cover? Because you know, this one is 10.5 inches and this one's 10 inches. Is it going to fit the chair?
So for your guys,
you know,
is Jay actually gave us the link. So we'll include this link in the show notes, so people can go in there, upload their invoice, and then you guys will match it to something that's either the same or the comparable.
Right.
That's awesome. Okay, that's really cool. And then okay, I got another question for you. So
it's rare. We do this all the time.
That's a big pain point.
Yeah, I would say maybe 3 to 4% of the time we're more expensive. And then we have 110% guarantee. It's so rare that we're.
What does that mean? 110% guarantee.
So if a product is $100 and someone finds it for 98 or 97, we'll give them not only it for $98, $97, we'll give them an additional 10% back.
Oh,
and
wow.
then what happens is just to illustrate. So if they come back to us and say, these websites that publish their pricing, and the product is $100 and we're charging $103 for it, so we go in and change it for everybody across the board to be $100. So it's not just you are getting it for the for the $100, and the next guy is buying it is still back at the 103. Everybody now becomes $100.
Wow. Okay, so that makes a lot of sense. So you're really putting your money where your mouth is. So
Yes.
what would you look at for? How do you guys look at gray market materials?
That's a good question. We don't do gray market. Let's put it this way: officially and generally speaking, if you're purchasing a gray market product, most likely you're okay. However, what we advise is if you're a licensed practicing dentist with, a proper business in place, the last thing you want to be doing is performing a clinical procedure using a product that's purchased by a company that when you Google it, you can't really find it, and then you don't know who owns it. There's no
let's
traceability
do this.
of the product.
Define gray market materials first for our listeners,
great
just in case
question.
somebody
That's
out there
true. For
doesn't
those
even
listening.
understand what that is.
Okay, so if there's a manufacturer, let's say 3M manufactures many products, and so they'll manufacture impression material, and they work through a series of dealers in the United States that are authorized to sell their product. There's a very close connection that we have with 3M. They sell us the product. They know which lot numbers are shipped to our warehouse. We store them in our warehouse. We ship them to the customer. We're tracking what lot numbers ship to the customer. At the same time, 3M will be also potentially shipping overseas to another country a batch of product, and it will be at a lower price point than their U.S. counterpart. So it's entering into the market at a lower price point. Somehow, some way, that product is diverted and finds its way into the U.S. This is common practice across many industries, and it's because of the fluctuating value of the dollar. It's due to the fluctuations of the value of what the market will demand in various countries, and depending on what you're buying, you may not care. If it's a Nike sneaker, you're not necessarily going to worry about whether it's gray market or not, as long as it looks, feels, and is exactly the same as the other one. When it comes to impression material, you might be concerned that this might have been on a boat somewhere overseas and then came back, sat in a warehouse for 3 months in 95-degree weather, and then sat on their shelf, and then they may have changed the expiration date because, some of this stuff may have been expired material, and a company had expired material. They sell it to a reseller who then manipulates the expiration date, and then they're selling it. So as an authorized distributor, you can be you can feel much more comfortable in the what's the word I'm looking for, but in the history of the product.
Okay, so that's a great explanation. So give me so first of all, this is common practice. Do dentists know that this is going on all the time?
I think some are informed, some aren't informed. Typically what you're going to find is that there are certain marketplaces that are hotbeds of gray market activity, and then there are dealers that are not gray market. When it
is
comes,
there anybody who's doing it that kind of does it like sly? Like, is there people out there, companies that are doing gray market, but they're not really telling people that they're doing gray market?
Nobody goes out there and says we're gray market. So what you want to do is almost nobody. I mean, there are some dealers that will put on their site that it's export packaging, which means that the packaging says not for sale in the U.S. But
that sounds way better than gray market.
Well, they'll typically do that because otherwise they get a lot of returns. People buy it, and then they're like, why does it say not for sale in the U.S.? Should I be concerned? It's just a question of we don't have this big war on gray market. I think some dealers will use it as a way of getting. No, we don't do it, but we don't actively go out and try to get customers by scaring them and telling them if they buy gray market, then they're going to get sued the next day by their patients. What we tell, what we do is we provide the education that I just did, which is I believe that you're making a much better and more informed decision by buying from an authorized dealer. The money saved is not worth the risk that's involved, and you are far better off buying non-gray. And by the way, a little known secret is that manufacturers typically are aware of which of their products are being gray marketed. And periodically throughout the year, and we have a trade show coming up in a month. For those watching, look out at the Greater New York show. And during big trade show seasons, they'll have like a buy two, get one free, or buy three, get one free, something like that, where the net price gets you so close to the gray market price, and the product expires in 18 to 36 months. So just buy a year's worth then, and you wind up exactly in the same place. But you could buy it from us, and Crazy Dental will have all the authorized, because we're authorized, we're going to have all of those manufacturer deals available on our site, and you just take advantage of it then. On top of being the lowest price out there, if it's a $150 product, buy two, get one free, you'll save, 33%. I did math very quickly there. You'll save 33% right there, and that'll get you to the gray market rate anyway.
Yeah, often when an office orders a product, they have to wait for the invoice to show up and then send it in to the manufacturer rep, and then the manufacturer rep goes in and processes it for goods. We do that for you. So if you do a buy, get 2+1, 3+1, 5+5, whatever it is, we'll go ahead and send that in to the manufacturer for you. And just a tall tale sign, if you want to know if a product is gray or not, if you're buying it, you're not sure. Usually on the company you're buying it from's website, they'll tell you who they're authorized with. But here with us, it's anything under the DC Dental label, because Crazy Dental is just a buying club under DC Dental. But I think we have like 150, 160 manufacturers we work with. But another tall tale sign is if it's an expensive product and you're seeing it some places for like 300 or 200 or 150, and other places a 300 product is like 140.
So if it's too good to be true, then it's too good to be true.
Right, then it's coming. It's coming from overseas. Right, it's right.
Got it.
That's a tall tale.
I called that number and they answered a second time. Do you guys want me to give it another try? Is it too late?
Yeah, for sure. I just texted them. And like the phone didn't ring by them. That's what she said to me. So I don't know.
Let's give it another try. I want to see how nice they are. She sounded really nice. This is horrible for air. So if someone's not watching the video, I'm taking the phone number. I'm gonna call it on my phone, and then it's gonna ring. There it goes.
I even sometimes fool around with them on the chat. Like I'll ask them random questions just to see if someone responds.
I would not want to get on a random chat with Jay.
Right?
Hey, how are you doing?
are you?
Good. I've heard that you guys have like the best customer service. Is that true?
Of course.
Are you out of Minnesota?
What can I help you with?
Well, I just wanted to talk with somebody. Are you out of Minnesota?
Yes.
Awesome. And you guys do a pretty good job at answering the phone, I can tell.
We try our best. We're here Monday through Friday.
That's
from
awesome.
8 to 4 or 8 to 5, sorry.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much. You have a great day, okay?
Thank you. You as well. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. There you go. That was way better. Good. Yeah, they
Wow.
answered. I muted myself as you were talking there, and I actually called them, and they answered. So, yeah, I wanted to make sure to give you a fair shake on that.
Yeah, everyone was available. That was just that was
Fluke.
A fluke. It happens. So now, so is there any other topics that we haven't covered or haven't gone over that you're like, okay, Gary, this is what you should have asked me because you don't know about our industry. You missed.
Well, Jay,
this
do we have
particular
any promotions going on for this?
We do. I actually put it. I don't
What
know
do you mean by that?
Howie, if you look at the right side of your screen, you'll see there's I posted. I think.
Oh, the chat. Yeah,
Gary
I got
posted,
I got the little
Yeah.
link that you guys provided. Yeah, so
there's a landing page.
crazydentalprices.com/SMC.
SMC, yep, and that's 10% off. About 95% of all our products. The only ones that really excludes our products are already on sale. So like we're in the business of obviously doing the best we can to help the dentist.
Oh, and we have
At
a
the same time,
crazy
we have
glove.
to.
Oh, there it is. Glove and mask
right.
flash sale.
Yeah, we have to like we officially have
Awesome.
to pay each other. Like we have to pay the bills of the company. So we have to so we can't give everything away for free because Howie would go crazy on me. But we do offer the 10% off. For it's like I said, it's about 95% of the products. And then if people want to send us the comparison, they just want to try us out. Within 24 hours, we spin it around. I would recommend not sending us like 300 items. Send us like 20, 30, whatever it is, just your top 20, 30, just to see where we stand, rather than sending us a million of them. But as we grow, we're thank God since we started, we're growing double digits yearly. So this is to answer the earlier
that's really
question
cool.
we had. Yeah, so to answer your earlier question, it's picking up, especially with the younger doctors that are more geared towards just let me place my order and leave me alone. So that's something that's very that's a growing phenomenon that we're latched onto. And we don't have reps calling and driving you crazy, so we just you go online, you order, you call us up on the phone, and you place it. It's simple, it's easy.
Yeah, so Crazy Dental is you have crazy prices, you have crazy sales, and we're not going to drive you crazy by having reps call you all the time.
Oh,
That's
you
crazy.
you got it.
Got that
Yeah,
right.
that's going to be Jay. Did you write that down? That's our new slogan.
And you got to deal
We
with a
will
guy
not
like
drive
Crazy
you
Jay.
crazy.
So yeah, just be crazy,
That's
make
awesome.
it crazy. Yeah, that's
Anything
really
else
us.
that we didn't cover that you think?
We're not a hole in the wall. Like sometimes some people you think you name this everybody knows like the Shine, Banco Patterson, all those, they all know those guys. We're on top of our game. During COVID, we chartered a jet to bring in gloves and the PPE, this stuff. We love what we do. We're on top of our game. We're not just like some yes, we started like Amazon and Dell and Apple in a garage. That's how
Jay
we
has a
started.
size complex. What he's trying to say
Yes.
is we're over $100 million company.
Yes.
Oh wow, okay.
Yeah. So some people say like, who are these guys? I never heard of them. Yeah. We're like Howie said in the beginning, we're not 100 years old. We're not
we're
70
over
years
$100
old.
million company.
But
We have
we're
about
real.
115 employees.
That's
We have
awesome.
employees besides from Minnesota and Baltimore, we have employees in about 7 or 8 states. We do charge sales tax. As a result of being this big, we're charging sales tax in every state. We have a license for pharmaceuticals in every state. So we're big enough where we can deal with anyone's problems, but we're small enough where we can deal with everyone's problems.
And I would say
right?
also,
Sometimes you're working with some of these bigger competitors, and there's nobody to talk to. You maybe have a sales rep, and that sales rep, whereas in our company, the person who you just called and picked up the phone is texting me on the side, and I'm the CFO of the company. So it's we're the perfect size company.
And if people have multiple locations and they're worried like, oh, these guys are solo practitioners, or it's good for 2-3 offices, we have divisions in our company that can work with people that are larger. So don't feel like, oh my God, these guys are really for solo or 1 or 2, 3 locations. We can work with anybody. and we take pride in that. And this is
Awesome.
what we do, And like you say, high energy running around. That's what you got to do, man.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you guys about crazy COVID stories. So things that happened during COVID with supply chains. That now looking back on it, I'm sure at the time you guys were stressed out and pulling your hair out. But Jay, that's why Jay's lost.
Yeah, I have no hair left. Howie figured out a way to keep his hair. I won't tell about the Rogaine, Howie. We'll keep that. Oh, sorry. But,
so what are the crazy COVID supply chain stories?
Well, the first thing is that this is I could talk for hours, but I'm going to pick one or two good crazy stories. In January of 2020, there were rumors. I don't even know if in the U.S. anyone heard about it. Mid-January, I don't know if I've ever told this story on any public forum. I don't know if I should be telling this story. We never investigated this, but I'll just tell it here. Okay, this is for your listeners only. It must have been about January 15th or right around mid-January. Out of nowhere, we started to get hundreds and hundreds of random orders for masks. Remember the COVID. This was before patient zero. Patient zero, I think, hit mid-February, late February. So this is a month before patient zero. There were rumors of something going on in China, and then all of a sudden we had hundreds of orders for masks. I still never got to the bottom of it. This is like a UFO conspiracy theory. It was to random addresses across in Arizona and whatever. Someone was stockpiling masks. Someone got, I don't know what it was, different addresses, different accounts, paying with credit cards that were valid. It wasn't fraud or anything like that. We never figured out why, but it threw our warehouse for a loop. We weren't totally not ready for it. So actually we were doing probably 1,100 orders a day in general, and this added up to like 300 orders a day. So it increased our volume by 30% overnight with no explanation. And then
who are those people? You couldn't track back who these people were?
I never bought. Well, then COVID hit, and the rest of, all the other stories. We were so busy with it, I never went back to do it. I could do it now. I can go back in history, look at those orders, see what addresses they were, why were they ordering masks well in advance. What's funny is at the time, our house brand masks and lower level masks, I think, were selling for like $5 a box, and by probably in April or May, we had already frozen all sales of masks. We were chasing masks. We couldn't find any masks. So we ran out of stock. There was a nationwide shortage of masks 4 months later. There was a famous, decision as to whether people were advised to even wear face masks because they were worried about a shortage. We were the largest distributor of masks in Maryland, or one of the largest. And so we were, that's where all the other stories come. There were so many supply chain stories that I could talk about. The phone calls that we had to make to try to find stock when, we're authorized for manufacturers, but you call the manufacturer, they're like, I'm not sure which acronym, but some government agency was basically freezing their inventory and telling them where to ship it. So we couldn't get it direct at that point. So that's where Jay was referring to, where we were using our private plane or however we can get our hands on any sort of PPE. But I never got to the bottom of that. I don't know if I should be talking about this.
Yeah, so let's dig that up. I want to know who those people are that knew that you should buy masks before.
Exactly.
Yeah, they knew something.
Idea.
So hit me with this. What if someone right now is listening and they're like, okay, you know what, I'm going to give these guys a try. What's the first step that they need to take?
Go to crazydentalprices.com, sign up, and you'll see place your first order. It should be as easy as that. I would say if you're looking for something quick and easy to try us with, a product that everyone uses, we have a crazy flash sale right now on gloves. I think we should be the lowest priced gloves that you're going to find nationwide, certainly
Yes.
from a quality distributor. These are proprietary gloves from the 3D Dental brand. They're very, very high quality. Everybody loves them.
3.9 cents per glove. Is that good? Like, what
That's
what
right.
does everybody else charge?
These gloves are 300. The new world for a box of gloves is 300. It used to be 100, went
So
to
what
200, now
you were
it's
talking about
300.
nitrile gloves?
It's 11.95 for a box of nitrile gloves. It's usually between the $15 and $19 range, and this is 11.95. It's a huge
Oh
difference.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, we do
That's
these
huge.
things often. We pump out some stuff that that others don't have, and it's we're a moving train. There's always something changing, always something going on. There's always something exciting, and we're here for anybody. We really are. We're easy to reach. We care about our clients. It's not a, and what I would do with to echo what Howie said earlier, to save yourself $30,000 a year, and then go ahead and spend it with with you guys at SMC Marketing, and then build up your client,
Get more
your
patients and buy
patients.
more. Then you have
That's
to
it.
buy
Get
more
more.
gloves.
That's right. Team effort. There you go.
This is just a vicious cycle. Yeah, just
Yeah.
everybody's winning. So that's awesome. I love it, guys. I learned a lot today. This was really, really helpful to me. And I think it'll be useful to our audience to learn more about what you guys are doing and just the way that the economy is shifting and changing as it should be. And so great job on this. And I can't wait to drop this episode.
Looking forward. Thank you, Gary. Thank you for your time and your team. And you guys were so professional. I get that everything's all worked out perfectly to the T. And we really appreciate you taking your time out to talk to us. It's as we say, just make it crazy. Don't
Thanks so
forget
much.
about us. It's an easy name to remember.
Crazy Dental.
crazydental.com. And don't forget, when you place your
Crazy
order,
dental.
put in the coupon SMC, and you'll get another 10% off. And that's not just a one-time deal, by the
Whoop,
way.
whoop.
It keeps going. So every time you want to place an order, use it, and just keep using it.
That's
And
awesome.
use it until your fingers go numb.
That's awesome. Yeah, and just so everybody knows, I don't get anything from this. Like Jay and Howie did not pay me to come on here. I didn't ask them to set up that link or anything like that. That's something that they did for you guys. So hopefully you guys
Yes.
use it and it's helpful to you. And you have a great day. Thanks, guys. Bye bye.
All right,
Thank you,
thanks.
guys.